Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Okay, I am about to speak to Ben or Benjamin Holtrop. He is a superior makeup artist, and there's so much juice I want to hear. All of it. Why did you start doing this? Why? Why this? Why this career?
Yeah, so I actually didn't really plan on becoming a fashion stylist. I went to school for photography and sculpture, and I was styling my own fashion photo shoots and realized I really loved the physical aspect of clothing. It reminded me of like what I was learning in sculpting class, and married with the image making of photography. And so I ended up just styling some photo shoots for my photographer colleagues and fell in love and kind of decided to change my career and do that full time.
Okay, where are you from? Where were you born? Where's school? Tell me.
Yes, I was born in Taipei, Taiwan, and was adopted at the age of 2 and moved to the U.S. Primarily to the Pacific Northwest, and grew up in Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington area. And then I went to school right outside of Portland at a liberal arts college called George Fox University.
Were you good?
Was I a good student? I would hope so.
Okay. Where did you train to become a stylist?
So I'm self-taught. I just kind of listened to podcasts, watched YouTube videos, found other stylists that I really admired their work and just really followed their career, and just applied myself and dove right in and made a lot of mistakes along the way, learned a lot. Now it's been 10 years of fashion styling for me. Who's your first face? My first client? Oh, yeah. Man. I honestly can't remember my first celebrity client, but I do remember my first styling job, which was a big fashion editorial that we shot in Southern California with a bunch of models and some wolves, actually. So that first job really stands out.
What was your first mistake? Who did you screw up? What
was my first mistake?
Yeah.
I think maybe it was just not being prepared for a job. I mean, self-taught, I didn't really have anyone to teach me of like what I needed to have on set. And so it was kind of just learning as I go, and just not being prepared all the time was probably the mistake that I made earlier on in my career.
Okay, so what face did you learn on or train on or screw up on? I mean, I've been in show business since the Stone Age, so I know what it's like to have makeup. I've been wearing eyelashes even before I was born. In the uterus, I was wearing false eyelashes. So I understand all about makeup. Tell me, what did you learn in your first job?
Well, I am not a makeup artist. I'm a fashion stylist, so I never did anyone's face. It was mainly the clothing aspect of things. So, I don't know how to answer that question.
Okay, I thought you were into makeup more than styling. So you're mostly a stylist, is that it?
Correct, yeah, fashion stylist.
So tell me about some of the people whom you dressed. That's a lot. That's very difficult. They can be very cranky, too. Tell me.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, most of the people that I work with are wonderful, amazing artists in themselves. So I think I love working with the ones that I have years of experience with. We get to know each other. I get to know what they're drawn to in terms of clothing, what they don't like. And also, they're also very collaborative. And the collaboration aspect of what I do is my favorite part of the job. And so creating and establishing trust with each other is like my favorite thing about it. And yeah, I like I said, I'm really lucky to work with some amazing people.
Tell me one of them. Tell me what it was like when you were doing somebody, on how you get the schmatas on them or whatever it is you do.
Yeah. I think one client that comes to mind, I've been working with him for 5, almost 6 years now, Skylar Aston. He's an actor. He does film, TV, and also Broadway. And I think my favorite thing about working with him is he's really open to trying new things. Obviously, he has a sense of style in himself, and my job is to kind of like elevate that and bring that out. But for me, the collaboration that I have with him is really special. He's really open to trying new things, and yeah, just he wears clothes really well as well.
Well, tell me, you're saying the same thing that everybody says. They all wear the same things and they know what they like. Well, tell me specifically what you did with one person. They didn't like the trousers, they wanted the jacket shorter. What do they want? They're pains in the neck, these people that you work with mostly. So tell me.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of my job is actually listening to them. And I feel like when I truly just listen to what they are concerned about or what they want, I don't run into a lot of cranky or difficult clients. But with Skylar in particular, he likes his suits to fit a certain way. And so working with him earlier on, I had to really hone in on what that meant for him, because, I like a little bit more relaxed cut suit, and he likes his really classically like tailored to his body. And so just learning those specific things about each client is really important to what I do.
So where do you get the clothes when they want something? Where do you go to get what they want?
Yeah, so the looks kind of depend on, what they're going to, if it's a red carpet or a press appearance. But I, as a stylist, have relationship with designers and brands. And so when I'm talking to a client about what they're hoping to wear, I'm going through my mental Rolodex of designers and brands that I feel like could fit that particular direction. And then from there, my team and I, we go and talk to the designers and say, hey, I'm dressing this person for this event. And they usually send options over for them. And sometimes you have to do some shopping, but most of the time it is either loans from designers directly or from showrooms that represent them.
So did you do anything on the last couple of shows? We just had a lot of award shows. Did you do anything for any of those?
Yeah. Yes. Last Sunday was the Grammys, and I had 2 clients go to the Grammys. One was the backstage host of the Grammys. So he interviews all of the winners as they come off stage. And so I was lucky enough to work with him for his look. And then I also dressed another guest that was attending the award show. But yeah, award shows in general are kind of like my favorite thing. And a lot of my actor clients are going to SAG Awards in a couple of weeks. So we're prepping for that.
What happens with the clothes afterwards, after they try them on? Do you get them back, or do they buy them, or how does it work?
Yeah, so sometimes the designers or the brands will kindly gift the look to the celebrity, but most of the time they actually go back. So a lot of the red carpet looks that you see online and whatnot, they're loaned to those celebrities.
Do they ever get a rip in them, or do they ever get something, they drop a Dunkin' donut on them or something? Don't they ever get schlumps?
There's definitely some accidents that happen, but thankfully, I always travel with a emergency kit as a
like
stylist.
What? What's an emergency kit? What's an emergency kit?
Let me tell you what I have in my emergency kits. I definitely have Tide pens. Tide wipes actually are my newest favorite tool. They are just like wet wipes that are individually packaged that you can use to gently dab or wipe away spills or stains. And I actually find that they work sometimes better than the pens. We also have Tylenol in the emergency kits. There's a lot of pressure and anxiety that comes with my clients' work. So having that for them, moleskin for like blisters on their shoes. Sometimes we have little mini sewing kits. So if like buttons fall off or a hem comes undone, we have tools to quickly do that. Also, another tool that I use a lot is double-sided tape. To tape down lapels, to tape down certain hems or folds in a look. Sometimes taping the dress to my client so it stays in place. But those are kind of my go-to emergency tools.
But when somebody schlumps on a dress or something like that, or a suit or whatever, or drops some greasy stuff on it, what do you do when you've semi-ruined the outfit? You can take it back even though it's got stains and everything on it?
Well, thankfully, that hasn't really ever happened to me. Obviously, some wear and tear, like deodorant stains, can like transfer or sweat. But thankfully, my dry cleaners, they're top tier. So we always send the clothes through them and we return them fully cleaned. But yeah, when it comes to like a major damaged piece, that's never really happened.
But do they keep any of the stuff? Do they ever keep the stuff that you've loaned for them?
Sometimes they will keep the pieces, mainly if it's like a press look. But the big red carpet looks, they're all usually loaned from the designers. So they have to return them.
What's the essential stuff that you have to get? They don't do underpants. You don't do that. So you do a white suit or some damn thing and a tie. And what is the necessary?
Yeah. For my male clients, usually when they're going to red carpet stuff, it's a suit. But we usually play around with styling it, maybe in an unconventional way. Maybe we're not using a tie or a bow tie. We use like a brooch instead of that. So we kind of find ways to explore and express their personal taste through the clothing.
How long does it take you to dress somebody?
Fittings usually take between an hour to 2 hours per look. So for fitting multiple looks, it could be a multiple hour fitting. When it comes to the day of, I'm usually with each client about an hour to get them dressed, to get them ready and out the door for these big award shows. But yeah, but the process, I like to start maybe 2 weeks before a big event to talk to them about what they're feeling, what they want to wear. But sometimes I've been thrown a curveball and given like 24 hours to find a look. It kind of all depends, but my sweet spot is like a 2 week window.
Do they ever want to keep the stuff?
A lot of the times they do want to keep it, but unfortunately it has to go back to the designers usually.
Did you ever goof? Did you ever screw up something?
Yeah, I think earlier on, it was just not being prepared and not knowing the tools I really needed to have in my kit to cover, accidents or mishaps or just have all my building blocks for styling my clients.
Give me a goof of where you made a mistake or did something like that, because it happens to me all the time. I'm always dropping something, or I'm doing something that looks lousy, or I've got false eyelashes that fell up my nose or some damn thing. So what about you? If you've ever screwed up something, how do you unscrew it?
Yeah, I mean, one moment in my career that I can really vividly remember was I was styling actress for a magazine cover, and I think I had only been styling maybe 6 months, and she kindly pulled me aside during the fit session on set and was like, hey, it seems like you're pretty new to this. And, like some advice I would give you is just to make sure that you have some things that maybe you wouldn't normally think of, like underwear. And I think for her, she was needing some type of specific underwear because of the dress or the look she was wearing. We could see what she was wearing, so we needed something that was more invisible. And I didn't have that, mainly because I didn't even know it existed. And so I really appreciated her time to really like pull me aside and just be like, hey, here's some things that you should have in your kit. So I took that as like a learning experience, and just took what she said to me to heart. And from then on, I made sure that I had things that maybe weren't so obvious to have.
The worst person
like
the worst person I ever dealt with was Raquel Welch. She walked out on me, and in the middle of our interview, she picked the mic off of her dress, and she stood up and left me flat on live, and I was on the air live, and she walked out. So you've never had anybody do that? Everybody loves you? You're so wonderful?
I mean, I have had some difficult clients, but thankfully I'm into my career enough to where if that happens once with them, I usually don't tend to work with them again. And it's nothing against them. I understand that, certain people have particularities. It's just not the easiest to work with and collaborate with. And like I said before, collaboration is such an important part to what I do. And so if someone's not willing to be collaborative or share their mind or even give something a try, I thankfully am able to keep my client list to the ones that I enjoy working with.
Well, who's been a favorite? Mention some people that we might know. Do we know anybody?
Asking a favorite client is like asking who your favorite child is, but definitely I have ones I really, really enjoy. And Skylar Aston, an actor, Anthony Starr from The Boys, David Iacono, he was in the recent Jurassic World movie. So I would say those three come to mind for me.
What about you? Where do you get your stuff from? Do you get a rake off when you...
Oh, like my personal clothing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I grew up on a farm. And so growing up, we always thrifted our clothing. And I still thrift a lot of my stuff as a stylist now. And I think it's part of the hunt is really exciting for me. And so it's finding those vintage pieces that maybe not everyone has. So I thrift a lot. I use this app called Macari. It's like a Japanese selling app, and they sell a lot of amazing vintage clothing off of there. I go to the local thrift shops like Goodwill and in LA we have a ton of vintage and thrift shops. So I do a lot of that. When it comes to designers that I really love and own some of their pieces, I love Jacques Mousse. He's a French designer. I also love Peter Doe, who is a designer based out of New York. I would say those are my two top brands that I love right now.
How has styling and fashion industry changed over the years? It used to be a black tuxedo with a black bow tie and a white shirt, and it was gorgeous. But now it's jeans and it's all sorts of schmatters that they wear. How has it changed over the years?
Yeah, I think the fashion industry just moves so much faster. Everything lives on social media now, so a fashion look really has to stand out while someone's scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. And at the same time, I feel like the general public expectations of celebrity style has raised due to that visibility of social media. So for me, how the fashion industry has changed is just everything is so much faster and the looks are needed a lot more. When it comes to the actual fashion, I mean, there's something so classic about a suit, like you mentioned, and a nice, crisp shirt. And I tend to work with clients that tend to enjoy that type of fashion more than the streetwear.
Well, thank you for coming on. I enjoyed it very, very much. And I hope to have you do me some schmatas one day, even if I'm a lady and you do mostly guys. Thank you, Benjamin. It was so nice to have you.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. And I'll style you anytime. Just give me a call.
Okay, honey. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Payne Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.